I believe God has a huge plan, and He's ready to share His word deeper with His people.
A lot of us have things that we remember. We have songs, we have books that we've read, movie lines, but how awesome would it be to be able to quote words from God?
The power of the Word came out in a way that I never imagined it could, from just knowing the story to memorizing it.
I think that was the difference between, a memory verse here and there. You capture a little glimpse, but imagine an entire chapter.
I think the reason I would recommend doing something like iRecite is that it motivates you. I don't think I'd be motivated to try to memorize as much scripture as I did this last month if I didn't know that I was going to be held accountable this night.
Memorizing the Bible is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
But God develops in you a pattern. Just based on your personality, He'll give you the words or the time or the style to study, to memorize, that it'll become your own.
Every day in the morning when I drive to work, I practice.
Memorizing while I walk or exercise seems to pump enough oxygen to my brain to make it a little more efficient.
It's simple to do it like building blocks. You take 2 or 3 verses a day, 10 minutes a day, and you do it in the morning as part of your devotions, and do it on the way to work, in the car. And I use an audio Bible. And when I'm in the car, I use my MP3 player, and I listen to those passages so that I can start to see the words on the page by listening to it as well. So 2 or 3 verses a day, that means you can learn it in 10 days.
For those of you who think that we'll never be able to do it, I am definitely proof that it is possible to memorize. It's because we depend a lot more on God while we're memorizing it. And even when I pray, when I talk, when thoughts come into my head, it's just chunks and pieces of what I've already recorded in my heart.
It's really not about memorizing words so that we can simply spit them out at our next monthly group meeting. If we really believe that these are the very words of God, we have the opportunity and privilege to become His mouthpiece to a dying world.
Once we get the motivation, then the power steps in. I know that it's the same way with exercising. I don't want to go for a run, but once I've gone for a run, I feel so much better. And so it's nice just to have the friends to encourage me to memorize, so I have that motivation to start.